Hi, it's Steve Sorensen at Phillips Chevrolet in Frankfort, Illinois. Today I want to talk to you about the 2015 Chevrolet Corvette. Not too much different between the 14 and the 15. They basically added 4G LTE Wi-Fi to the 2015 and an available video data recorder that's in the car, so you can record your experiences while driving into the track or whatever. So the Corvette, the C7, man, they've really got it right this time. They've done a lot of changes to it, like they did, starting in 2014. You can get it in a Z51, which is your racing package, or you can get it in a non-Z51. This Corvette is a Z51 3LT, and I'm going to go through and explain to you today of what the differences are in this car. So this is a completely loaded car. First of all, with the C7 Corvette, they've changed, starting in 2014 with the 7th generation Corvette, the frame is now all aluminum. It's 58% stronger and about 100 pounds lighter. And they've changed the hood and the top structures to carbon fiber under panels. The vehicle is actually, I believe, 100 pounds heavier than it was in the C6, but the weight is lower in the car, which gives the car better control in racing situations and basically daily driving situations. The all-aluminum frame, it's got extruded metal in the front, so if it gets in a crash from the front, there's an extruded metal or aluminum portion that'll actually compress like an aluminum can, and the same in the back. So what that'll do is it'll absorb the crash in the front, or absorb it in the back without really damaging the structure of the rest of the frame in the car. It's a very safe vehicle, 5-star crash rating in the Corvette, which is great this year. They've also made the tunneling where the drive shaft and the headers and the header pipes run through larger. It used to be really tight, and I know there's a lot of Corvette owners out there that remember that when they put their soda can or something like that in the cup holder, their soda would get hot, or their legs would get hot sitting next to the tunneling. Well, what they started doing in the C7 was they made the tunnel a little bit bigger, and they actually line it with a product called aerogel, I believe is what it is. They got it from NASA. It's like taking a flat cookie sheet and filling it full of polyurethane and letting it dry. It's like a thick, cloudy product that's lined in the inside of the tunneling, and then they put a reflective metal sheet over in front of that. And what it does is it keeps the heat inside that tunnel instead of coming into the cabin, and it also helps quiet the vehicle down. That's a new part of the frame also that goes through here. Starting under the hood, it's got your 6.2 liter V8 in it. Let me pop the hood here really quick. Carbon fiber hood this year. This thing is like, you can pick it up with your pinky. It's so light. I mean, you can kind of see very strong carbon fiber, but light. Let's see here. 1/4 mile in 12 seconds, 112 miles an hour. 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. If you got the Z51, she's 3.8 seconds. You can go braking on the vehicle is 60 miles an hour to 0, I think, in 112 feet or 121, one of those numbers. 455 horsepower, 460 pounds of torque. If you get the performance exhaust on it, it adds 5 horsepower and 5 pounds of torque. So capable of 460 horsepower, 465 pounds of torque. Another thing that they've done with the car is the Corvette front end now will take air in the front and actually brings it over here to get the heat out of the engine. It actually adds to the downforce of the front end of the car as your speed increases. So very light carbon fiber. This over here is your brake master cylinder. All that stuff is over in here. Now this is the Z51. One of the Z51 features is a dry sump oil system. So what it does is it holds an extra few quarts of oil extra to keep it in reserve. So if you're driving around the racetrack and the oil's getting pushed to the side of the bottom of the engine because of the G-forces, it actually will draw oil from your battery, your oil reserve here, to make sure your car stays lubricated while you're racing. So it's a dry sump system. That's where that's located. We'll drop this down here. LED lighting. Some really cool LED lighting features on it right now. I think it's got a 0.26 drag coefficient. I think that's the number, it's either that or 0.29, so I'm sure you guys will probably tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to remember everything on here. Wheels and brakes, I'll talk to you about. These are Z51s. Z51 is going to give you larger rotors. You're going to get these split 5-spoke wheels. These are a Z51 wheel. If you go with a Z51, you're going to get 19s in the front, you're going to get 20s in the back. Non-Z51, you're going to have an inch smaller rotor. You're going to have Duralife rotors, and what that means is they do this treatment called ferritic nitrocarburizing, I believe, which basically will stop the calipers from rusting, and it's going to give you a longer life. These ceramic brakes, they told me in class that if you're not going to take the car to the track, you might not want to get a Z51, because these ceramic brakes, Corvette will go through ceramic brakes. It'll chew them up 15,000 miles. I mean, just even with daily drivers. So they told us in class when I went to the Ron Fellows driving school at Spring Mountain Valley that if you're not going to take this thing to the track, you might want to consider not getting a Z51 just because of maintenance issues down the road. So these are 19s in the front, 20s in the back. Non-Z51 have 18 and 20. Instead of having the split fork, you're going to have just a regular 5-spoke wheel on the non-Z51. The standard wheel is a painted aluminum. You can get it in polished aluminum, and you can also get it in a chrome feature. These you can get painted aluminum, black, and chrome. Okay, this is an automatic transmission. Let's talk about the hood first. By fault. There's different options with the hood that you can get. You can get a see-through visible hood. You can get a body color hood, which is, or I should say coupe top, my fault. A body color coupe top, which is like, if we were going to do a body color on this one, this would be white in here, but you'd also, this would all be white, basically. You can also get a visible carbon fiber rooftop, which basically shows the webbing of the carbon fiber underneath here. Now, carbon fiber, from what I understand, I'm not an engineer, but carbon fiber is very susceptible to UV rays, and what it'll do is it'll deteriorate the quality of it. So there's a clear coat that goes over the top of the carbon fiber, and they use this really expensive fluid that stops it's like a sunscreen basically for your carbon fiber. So if you do a visible carbon fiber hood, coupe top, this is all visible carbon, but this would actually be white in here. It's a body color strip that goes, so that's what they talk about when you do the body color strip. This would be body color white, this would be carbon fiber. You could also get dual roof packages to where you can do a see-through, you can do a carbon, you can do a body color, you can do a see-through, and you can keep your extra coupe top in the back of the car. Now, these vents, people are asking what these vents are all the time. The braking on the Z51 in the front vent here, in the front fender, the Z51 actually has air dam in the front that stops about right here, and then this is open. It stops about right here, and then there's another, it's like this is the air dam in the front of the Z51. There's another little lever or another little paddle in the back that actually brings the air right into the braking system and then vents it out right here. That's on the Z51. The non-Z51 Duralife rotors, non-ceramic brakes don't get as hot. There's an air dam that runs all the way across the front of it. Now, this vent right here, on a Z51 you can get an electronic limited slip differential, which basically is designed to change the torque of the wheels while going around cornering and racing to give you the best handling and the best performance out of your car. Electronic limited slip differential needs to be cooled, so if you have a manual transmission on a Z51, this vent is going to be active to cool off your electronic limited slip differential. Okay? On the other side of the car, on top of the quarter panel, this car on an automatic transmission, this is what's going to cool off your automatic transmission system with the torque converter in the automatic. That's what that vent's used for. If you get a non-Z51 manual transmission, This vent and that vent are just there for aesthetic purposes. They're not active because there's not an electronic slip differential in a non-Z51 manual transmission. These vents here in the corner right here are basically used for cabin pressure. So like when you cut or close your hatchback or close your doors, it actually will release some of the cabin pressure, so it's easier to close your doors because the vehicle is very airtight. These vents right here are used to take some of the air out of the braking air, or take some of the heat from the brakes and take it out of the back of the car. So this is car's unlocked. Now people also ask, how do you get your car if your battery's dead? Because this is all electronic. You know, to get in your car, everything's electronic to get in. If your battery's dead, how you get in? What you have to do is you have to take your remote control. Excuse me. Take your remote control. Squeeze this little button right here. Pull this out, and you got a little key in it. Now down here, the alarm's going to go off because the battery's hooked up, so it's going to think someone's breaking into it. But down here, there's a little place for your key, and you twist it to the right, and it opens it up. So then you get in your door by pulling this little tab right here. Here on this side, there's a tab right here. You just pull it. You see the tab right there? Just pull that tab right there, and it opens up your door. So that's how you get in your Corvette if the battery's dead. Okay? So did you see that door move when I just popped when I slammed the hatchback? There's a lot of air pressure when you do that. All right. That's basically the exterior features of the Corvette. I'm going to do another video here and explain to you what's the difference between the 1LT, the 2LT, and 3LT. And if you have any questions, my name is Steve Sorensen. I'm at Phillips Chevrolet in Frankfurt. My phone number is 815-469-2323. My extension number is 398. Appreciate your time. You have a great day.